Hi, welcome to live stream yoga with Louise. Tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today's practice is about living your narrative. As always, play where you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to begin today's practice in a relaxed child pose. Legs could be in parallel, or you could do big toes together, knees slightly wider. We're going to bend and stack the arms, starting with an active press into that little tension spot between the two eyebrows. Settle into that press and then start to make your bum bones nice and heavy towards your heels, and keep taking your breath into the lower back, telling yourself to relax and release there. Then take a nice big long inhale in, and on an exhale come to lie on your right ear and pause here for a bit, looking for more lateral expansion through the ribs, releasing softly into the neck. Maybe your eyes are closed and you're starting to take your focus inward. Find your way back onto the forehead. Consciously pressing into your third eye. Take a generous inhale, and on an exhale, find your way onto the left ear. Pause here, release. Find your way back onto the forehead. And then into a 4-point kneeling frame. For some cat-cows, alternating between a hollow and a rounded back, and working today at a 1 to 2 inhalation to exhalation ratio. As you exhale, pull up your pelvic floor, squeeze the diaphragm and apply the chin lock, pausing there. And then releasing first the chin, then the diaphragm, then the pelvic floor. Begin to find your rhythm. Then ease your way into a neutral long tabletop stretch through the neck and the spine, and begin to lean side to side with your body. So it feels almost like you're taking a beautiful side stretch into the sides of your rib cage, opening up those little spaces between the ribs. Keep your navel softly drawn in. Center align, tuck your toes under. You can bring the knees together slightly narrower if you like, and we're going to sit back into a little toe breaker stretch. Making sure that all 10 toes are connected to the floor and that you don't have a hanging pinky toe. Then flesh your fingertips together, make a little basket and tuck that basket behind your head. Press forward with your hands and press backward with your head. Reaching as long as you can to your elbow points, pause in that stretch. Allowing for a neutral spine position. Keep the toes tucked under, come into a tall kneel, morph it into a camel by bumping your hips forward over your knees and then falling the weight of your head generously back into your palms. Stretch through the tops of your thighs, into the belly. Feel it through the sides of your ribs, into the chest and the shoulders. Then relax your arms heavy at your side, nod your chin to your chest, and release the bridges of your feet, actively pressing into them as they arrive on the mat. Ease your way into a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat and begin to externally rotate through the right hip, drawing the knee out to the side of the room and back and lubricating into that joint. Use your next circular trace to take a lizard step out on the right, angling the foot out at 45, and then just start to play. One small little lean forward, one small little lean backwards, trying to extend the right leg and peel the toes off the mat every time you lean back. We're just using it gently to prep the leg and the joints. Then end in the lizard frame, leaning forward, and start to play with a little step down and step up action, trying to get onto your forearms. If you're finding this difficult, maybe modifying with a block underneath the hands and step up and down onto the block. Then try to end in the drop down action, hold it there. Keep gently pulling your navel into center. Take a few deep breaths here in your lizard frame. Uttan Pristhasana. Find your way back into an extended arm line. Take a big breath in and start to reach forward with the right fingertips, pausing here and stretching the entire line of your arm. Then begin to float the hand up towards the ceiling, rotating through the forearm so that the palm is looking away from the center line. Look towards that hand, make that moving hand your drishti, your focal point. Then sweep the arm behind you and reach for the back of the room, pausing in the stretch. Reconnect your hands to the mat and find your way back to your original child with your forearms stacked and your third eye pressing into the back of your hands. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, stoking into the parasympathetic nervous system. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, come to rest on the left side of your head. Pause. Take a few generous breaths, releasing into the neck. Inhale to come back to the middle. Exhale to do the same on the right, closing your eyes, taking that focus inward. Breathing into the sides of your ribs. Find your way back to your third eye, consciously pressing into that pressure point. When you're ready, ease your way into 4-point kneeling and begin to cat-cow at a 1 to 2. Maybe employing an ujjayi breath, constricting the larynx so that you're making a soft, audible sound on both the inhale and the exhale. Ease your way into a long tabletop stretch through the neck and the spine. Assume a belly up position and start to find that lateral lean. Taking a moment to find the sides of your ribs and really trying to stretch into them. Find your way back to the middle, tuck your toes under, and find your way into a toe breaker, sit back. Allowing for a neutral spine, flesh your fingertips together, make yourself a basket, press forward with your palms, press backward with your head. Pause in the toe breaker stretch, reaching as long as you can through your elbow points and allowing for a neutral spine. When you're ready, bleed into a camel line, arching maybe through the spine, falling the weight of your head back into your hands as you come into a gentle back bend. Ustrasana. Uninterlace your hands, drop your arms heavy at your side as you neutralize your spinal line and press into the bridges of your feet. Nodding chin to chest. Back to 4-point kneeling. For some working hydrants on the left, taking your knee out to the side of the room and back, tracing big lazy circles with that knee, lubricating into the hip joint. Use that outward motion to take a step out on the left, setting up your lizard line, leaning forward into the wrists and pressing back with an extended lead leg every time. Just gently waking up the left leg. Ending in the lizard line, we're going to start to find those forearm walk downs and walk ups. Maybe ending on the forearms, pausing there for a few moments, breathing into all those tight nooks and crannies. Keep your navel softly drawn in. Find your way back into an extended arm line. Keep that slightly lean forward. Take a big breath in and start to float your left arm out in front. Pausing here and stretching through the line of your arm. Then follow the movement of the hand as it rotates through the forearm to reach for the sky. and then follow it as it drops behind you, reaching for the wall. Retrace your path back. Find your way from here into a relaxed child. Arms just draped on the mat. Release the tension into your fingers and wrists by maybe peeling your hands off the mat and giving your digits a little wiggle. Let's find our way into some down dog play. Think 4-point kneel, tuck your toes under and start to play with a dynamic tiptoe and heel drop. Keeping a nice piped position between the arms and the legs. Then maybe morph into a slow pedal, extending one leg, bending the other, pausing before changing sides. And finding a slow tracking dynamic rhythm. Then maybe holding the full expression, extending both legs, making your heels heavy, stretch all the way from your hips to the heels of your feet, from your lower back through the entire line of your spine, from your shoulders to the heels of your hands. Release back to 4-point kneeling. Press away from the mat softly with your arms. Lengthen the line of your spine and tuck the right hand behind your head. Starting with your elbow more or less in line with your shoulder. On an exhale, start to dip the elbow and tap towards the inseam of your stabilizing arm, and then try to open up as close towards the ceiling as you can and start to move that right elbow in an arcing fashion, rotating through the thorax, keeping your navel softly drawn in. We're going to try to end elbow to sky, pause. Hands are just loosely tucked around your ear or the back of your head. Lead your way back to 4-point kneeling and change sides. Finding your tuck behind the left side of your head, start to dip the elbow and then bleed it towards the sky, looking for that rotation through the trunk. Start to sync your movement to your breath. We're going to try to end elbow to sky and pause in the stretch. Then back to the mat for some down dog play. Let's tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the floor. We're going to take a little rotation off center to the left, one to the right, and then down dog. And we're going to keep playing with that little bear twist, side to side, and then a down dog. And you're looking for anywhere between 3 to 5 repeats. Starting to make it more fluid, more dynamic. End in your down dog stretch, hold it. Back to 4-point kneeling. This time sweep the right arm up to the sky and then give me a halfway thread, just reaching your fingertips past the edge of your mat. Give yourself between 3 to 5 repeats, keeping most of your high 4-point kneel on the mat as you play with this one. We're going to end in a thread, pause, and then change sides. following that movement of your working hand. End in the thread. Back to 4-point kneeling. We're going to find that hovering knee position, we're going to do a little side to side kick through. So you are pausing in a bare frame to kick through on either side. And what you're going to kick through on either side, down doggy. And make yourself a little flow. Looking for between 3 to 5 repeats. Keeping your navel drawn in throughout. End in the down dog stretch. Then press back into an extended arm child. And we'll thread from here. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, take your right hand, tuck it underneath your left, coming to rest on the right side of your head. And maybe sweeping the left arm behind you and seeing if you can wrap around to grab the outside of your right hip. Back to your extended child arm line to do the same on the second side. Threading when you're ready, and then finding that wrap with your free arm. Lead your way from here back into 4-point kneeling for some more down dog play. We're going to tuck the toes under, set up the basic down dog frame. Maybe this time coming high onto our fingertips. And then softening the knees, think relaxed dog. Take a wide frog hop, coming into a deep squat, peeling your hands off the mat. And then reversing your way back. You can either step the legs back into your down dog or hop them up. You can either hop forward into the squat or you can step. And you're taking that squat as wide and as low as you need it. Start to find your rhythm. We're going to end in a deep squat, and we're going to play with the arms. We're going to V them out, and we're going to use the back of our elbows or our triceps to press those knees out and to open up deliciously into the pelvis. Lead your way from here back into a down dog. Stretch arms, stretch legs, stretch spine. Feed your nose through. Try to tap it towards your knees. Let's find our way from this down dog into a 90-90 seat on the mat. So think of wanting to come into a pigeon line on the right, draping your right leg to the floor, and then rearranging the back leg behind you. So you're thinking 90 degrees behind the knee, 90 degrees. Close to it as you can. You can bring the legs in closer towards the perineum if you need to. Set up a tall seat and just wiggle around on your bum bones for a bit. Trying to ground as best you can through both bum bones. Fingertips are just gently connected to the mat. We're going to begin to play with the back leg, lifting the knee dynamically on and off the mat. Come to stillness and start to lean your body forwards. Stay here or think about that stepping down and stepping up that we played with when we were in the lizard frame. You're going to try to loosely replicate it, dropping down onto the forearms and stepping back up. And in the drop, pause, hold it. Then take a little off-center to the right creep. As far as your trunk wants, sit, creep, and then just pause there and hold. Find your way back onto the mat, realign. Walk your way back up to a tall seat and begin to extend the right leg. Finding the wrap on the left that works for you. So you can keep the leg where it is, or you can tuck it in closer, maybe opening up a little bit more through the groin. We're going to look for that junction between the two legs, and we're going to begin to drop down and walk back up. Giving yourself a few dynamic turns before you end on the forearms and just hold. Take a creep to the right and stop when you hit the line of your leg, pressing and resisting. Then take a creep all the way to the opposite side and stop when you hit your leg line. Press and resist. Then look for that left knee as you start to extend your arm line. Take your right hand, reach for the outside of that knee or thigh, and see if you can come into rotation, grabbing opposite hand to hip with the left arm. Unravel your trunk, extend both legs to the front of the mat, give them a little shake up, get blood supply back into that back leg. We're going to replicate the 1990 line again, but this time we're going to lead left leg in front. So take a moment to arrange your legs. Once you've found both legs and both bum bones, start to play with the right knee, dynamically lifting and lowering it off the mat in a fluttering-like motion. Ground it and start to lean forwards and sit back up. Give yourself a few leans. See how accessible the floor is. And then maybe start to play with that drop down onto the forearms and the walk back up. Maybe ending on the forearms and pausing there for a bit. Then seeing if you can take a little walk off the mat to the left and then pause once you've found your stretch. Keep the navel softly drawn in throughout. Walk your way back onto the mat, pausing, pressing off the forearms. Find your way to a tall seat and begin to extend the left leg. Re-wrapping on the right. Find the junction between the two legs, either just leaning forward and sitting back up, or starting to find that forearm drop down and step back up. Playing with it dynamically for a bit before you decide to drop and hold. Maybe taking a little walk to the left, stop when you hit your leg line. And then find your way across the midline towards the opposite leg, stopping when you hit the leg line. Look for that right knee as you sit up and take your left hand reaching across the midline to grab hold of the outside of the right knee or thigh, and then tuck your free hand behind your back. Maybe it's just a loose tuck. Maybe you're rotating that palm in and reaching for your opposite hip. Then unravel yourself, give the legs a little shake out, and find your way onto the back for some supine play. You can do a soft fall back, or you can just gently find your way down. We're going to come into a bridge-like setup. We'll articulate up into a bridge hold, thinking of curling your tailbone in and just bleeding your bum and your back line off the mat. Pausing there, just taking a delicious stretch here. Through the line of your trunk, through the line of your legs. Activate those glutes, quads, and hamstrings. Then start to play. Drop your bum, tap it softly to the mat, and thrust back up a few times. Then hold the bridge again, maybe this time walking the arms in, interlacing them behind your back, making a little fist, pressing off the fist, and finding Baddha Setu Bandha, bound bridge. Relaxing that chin towards your chest, breathing into the stretch. Then open up your hands and bleed your way back down to the mat, beginning to hug your knees in towards your chest and starting to play with an east-west rock through the lower back. Stay here or begin to exaggerate the roll and find your way into a little fetal tuck at the end of your roll. Starting to roll through and play side to side, tucking the bottom arm underneath your head as you find your little fetal tuck. And just find a gentle, lazy, dynamic rhythm rolling through side to side. Put this little fetal tuck roll into your memory banks. We'll come back here in a moment. Find your way onto the back, maybe hugging the knees in and adding a little chest lift. Then release back down to the mat and set up a figure four with the right leg. Maybe using your right palm to just press the inseam of your leg away. Pause here, making the whole line of your back equally heavy into the mat. Then release the hand press and begin to dynamically lift the left foot off the mat, drawing your knee into table and tapping back out. And in the tabletop lift, hold it. Keep bearing up with the left knee. Take a big breath in, scoop up. Feed your hands around the back of the left thigh, making a basket. Reconnecting head and shoulders to mat and just pausing here for a bit. Make your shoulders nice and heavy. Make your back line nice and heavy. Relax your chin. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Then start to make the left calf heavy so that it taps the back of your hands. Scoop up and see if you can re-wrap around the shin this time before relaxing head and shoulders back down to the mat and pausing here for a bit. Then uninterlace your arms and open them up into a soft T-like frame. Cross the right leg over the left loosely. Take a big breath in. Scoop up. Hold on to the right knee. Hug it in towards your chest and reconnect head and shoulders to the mat. Take your left hand. Brush your fingertips down the chain of the leg and see if you can grasp the right toes with your left hand. Peel up into a little scoop. Take your right hand, brush it down the chain of the left leg, see if you can reach for those toes. And then reconnect your back line to the mat and start to hug your feet as if you were trying to cup your hips with the soles of your feet. Then think about what that fetal side-to-side roll felt like. Start to let go of the feet and roll left, grounding through your right foot, tucking your left arm underneath you, using your right hand to press that right knee away and hold the stretch. Find your way onto the mat, unravel and take a long supine stretch, reaching through your fingertips, reaching through your toes. Maybe you'd like to interlace your hands, invert, press into the heels of your hands, and then press into the heels of your feet while holding neutral spine. Then find your way back to a bridge-like setup frame and set up your figure four on the left. Pressing the weight of your back equally into the mat and starting to use your left palm to press the left thigh away. Let go of the press and start to dynamically lift and lower the right foot off the mat. And in the lift, hold it. Scoop to peel up into a little chest lift, wrapping both of your hands around the back of the right thigh, and then reground head and shoulders. Pause, take a few breaths. Start to make your right calf heavy. Allow it to tap the back with your hands. Scoop up. See if you can rebind around the shin and then reconnect head and shoulders and pause. Soften through the back of your head. Relax your neck and your jaw. Let go of the shin and open up your arms into a soft, lazy T. Shoelace, cross your left leg over your right. Then scoop up to hold on to the right knee and hug it into your chest as you reconnect to the mat. Take your right fingers, slide them down the chain of your left leg and see if you can grab hold of your toes. Scoop up. Take your left hand, brush it down your right leg, see if you can find those toes, and then reconnect head and shoulders to the mat and hug your feet in, trying to wrap the soles of your feet around your hips. Think of what that side-to-side fetal roll felt like. We're going to find an echo of it as we start to roll right. You're going to ground that foot. You're going to tuck the right arm underneath your head and you're going to use your left hand to press the inseam of that left leg away. Pause here, breathe. Find your way from here into a long supine stretch, extending arms, extending legs. I think maybe interlacing and inverting the hands and pressing into the heels of your feet. Then start to bend the knees, coming into a supine butterfly, pausing here and just pressing into the soles of your feet. Maybe morphing your hands into an overhead fist and reaching through your knuckles. You could even take a Jupiter mudra here. Then start to float the feet off the mat, scoop up into a chest lift, reach through and grab hold of your ankles, tucking your heels in towards your perineum and holding this floating butterfly. Knees nice and heavy to the floor. Stay or reground head and shoulders to the floor, trying to keep that grasp on your ankles. Then open up the legs into a straddle line, using your hands and your arms to grab anywhere along the inseam of your legs and press down. Then bring the two legs together, come into a tight little ball tuck, interlacing your hands, pressing down, making your tailbone heavy to the floor. Find your way back into that straddle, using your arms to press down on the inseam of your leg. Keep your chin relaxed, keep your back line relaxed. Start to draw the two legs together, find your way back into a tuck, squeezing your knees in towards your chest, lifting the tailbone off the mat, and then keeping the squeeze but making your tailbone heavy. Let's give ourselves one last straddle. One last tuck. Lifting your tailbone off the mat as you hug the knees in. And keeping that tight squeeze and that compression into your lower belly as you make your tailbone heavy. Lead your way from here into a relaxed Shavasana, extending the legs, flopping them out, extending the arms, flopping them out. Give yourself a light wriggle through the fingers and the toes. Give your body a light wriggle, and then settle in. Close your eyes. Take your focus inward. Start to gentle your breath. Start to soften through the toes, the line of the legs, your belly, your chest, your bum, your back, your shoulders, your arms. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, flop your head to the right. Pause. Inhale, bring your head back to the middle. Exhale to flop your head left. Take a pause. Inhale to bring your head gently back to neutral. And then decide where you'd like to end your practice for today. Maybe you'd like to stay blissed out here in corpse pose. Maybe you'd like to find your way into a seat that speaks to you. Settle in, closing your eyes, taking your focus inward, keeping the arms relaxed, maybe just at your side or released to your thighs or your knees if you're in a seat. Take your focus inward, and let's end off with a few words to ponder. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Live your narrative unashamedly. Don't let the perceptions of others determine who you are and how you live. With those thoughts, let's end off on the words Namaste. See, recognize, acknowledge your true narrative. Thank you so much for making time to come and play. Have an amazing day. Till next time, keep it light.